going to stay?
Alexa, stop. Good morning everyone, welcome to another important Key Stage 1 lesson. This time we are looking at subtraction. Subtraction is not a very nice thing, it's quite fiddly to do, particularly when you're starting off. We're not looking at the column method for this, that comes a lot later and it just takes away their understanding. I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. One in particular is brilliant. If you don't like subtraction, I've got a really good way of doing it which just involves kind of adding up and finding the difference. So we're going to look at this in some detail, do some problems. The bingo winners from last week as well. I mean, some very special questions to do with you guys. They'll be coming towards the end. So to start with, hopefully you've all done these before. These are part whole diagrams. We're going to look at a really challenging one of these in a bit. But the idea is that the one at the top is the whole. The green ellipse or oval is the whole part. And the two yellow circles add up to make that whole part. So you need to fill in the gaps in those diagrams.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so you need to fill in those gaps in the diagrams to make those work. Okay, you can copy them out if you want, or you can just write down the value of the question mark in them. Oh, why are some of those not even done? Oh, spoiler.
Pretty much know what it is, Daddy.
That's not, they're not right. They weren't right. So those are not right. Okay, so off you go. Let's see if you can fill in the gaps. Those were not the right answers in there. I just copied and pasted and forgot to delete one. Please give me your names if you want to shout out as well. Hi Jack, hi Harrison. Loving you love the music as well. It is a quality tune, Hanson Umbop. Morning Emma, nice to have you back again. Eva and Fern as well. Hi Julie 87 and hi Brian as well. So we're filling in these part whole diagrams here. We are trying to find out the missing part. We're going to be doing some addition and subtraction. This is it here. This is the basics of what addition and subtraction is. It's their opposites. They work together with each other as well. Good morning Amelia again. Good morning Jude. Hi from Shine and Nair as well in Ruislip. Sam and Henry in Belgium as well. Wow. Hi guys.
Where's Belgium?
Belgium is in Europe, fairly near France.
What the?
Morning Jaden as well. Luke is finished as well. Fantastic work. Very fast Luke. Luke, one of our bingo winners from last week.
24:28.
So you should see the top row is all about adding together. If you're adding 34 and 28, use whatever method you've got to do that. We looked at some of those. Well, I showed a little video on that earlier. I will go through that one as well because that's quite tricky. If there's one you can't do, please skip to the next row. I know not all of you, if you're in year one, you might not have added together numbers as tricky as that before. Absolutely fine. Just do the ones you can do here.
I've got over 100.
Okay.
I've got over 100.
Hello Henry in Gloucester as well, and Aaliyah as well. Great to have you here. Brilliant, you are still turning up to these lessons and things like that. I know it's hard with the schools closed. This is keeping you on top of your maths, it really is. And it might even put you ahead of some of the people in your class, you never know. Okay, I am trying to help you really get, ultimately, ages and ages away. When you get to your GCSEs, all this stuff will be helping you to get a good grade. Okay, right, let's have a look at some of these, because some of you have finished. So, we are part holding here, so we're doing your 3 plus your 4 for the first one. So 3 plus 4 for question 1 is going to give you a 7 at the top. Okay, because 3 and 4 make 7. This one here, we're going to have a 6 and an 8 at the bottom, and then at the top, we are going to have 14. Question 3. Going across here, we've got 16 and 9 at the bottom, a bit trickier to add together. 16 and 9 gives you 25. And then 4 is when it gets quite challenging, with 34 and 28. So to add those together, you could use different methods. Okay, you might be doing, so if you've got your 34, you might use your jottings and write that down as 34. And then 28 will be 2 tens and 8 units.
They're meant to be underneath
Yes,
each
they are meant to be
other.
underneath, thank you.
So then you can count them easier.
Sorry, thank you very much, Daniel, easy expert. So 28 would go like that. So I'm going to get myself a 10. I'm going to go, whoa, there we go. I've got myself a 10 there. So I can add another 10 onto this lot, which gives me 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And I've got 2 left over, so 62 in total for that one. Now, when we are subtracting, trying to give you ones you can do in your head at the moment, but we'll go into subtraction more just to see if you got them right. So, question 5, you've got 5 and 4 give you the 9, so it's 5 was the extra one. Question 6 is going to give you 13 and 7, gives you 20. Question 7 will give you 8 and 9 to give you 17. And finally, the last question, 24. Tricky one, this will go into how this works in a bit. To get to 56, you are going to have to add on 32. Okay? So, that's your part whole. This is what subtraction is. If you add to get that, to get back from the answer to the missing number, you are going to subtract. They are opposites, but they work together. You can find the answer with adding, you can get back with subtraction. Okay?
Daddy, I don't think actually that last one is actually too hard, because actually you're not going
Okay, so the last one there is not too difficult at the moment, but we're going to look at doing subtractions now. Okay? Right, before that, this is a puzzle that some of you have been getting as your homework. It's like a mega part whole diagram. And they're really good for solving puzzles. It doesn't really show what subtraction and addition is, but they are nice little puzzles. I wanted to see who can solve this puzzle here. So the idea in this is, I've got different shapes on here, okay? I want to see if you can work out what number goes inside the different shapes. Now you've got to think about the order you do these in, because you can't get them all at once. You've got to think about which ones can you work out and how. So we're going to have a little go at this, just a couple of minutes. Can you solve a mega part whole diagram? And then I'll go on how we can actually try and solve a puzzle like this. Okay?
Oh, Daddy. I need some space. Can you help me draw my
If you
diagram?
found the last one tricky, the other one, that is what this lesson is about as well. We are looking at subtracting, so don't worry at all. So you don't need to draw this diagram down, you can just write down square and what number will be in there. Giving you a hint there, square is definitely the first one I would try and work out. So, write down square, work out what square should be. Okay? The 8 here is going to those 2, and this shape here is going to those 2 there. Okay, good luck. This is tough, this one. This is a tough question. And I know a lot of parents are getting stuck in this as well. It's about finding the right order to do things in.
13. 13.
Morning, Ethan and Ansh as well. Good to see you.
13. 13 and 21.
It's the order that's, if there's one you don't think you can work out a different one first. This is the thing about problem solving. Actually, particularly in primary school, you've got to work out the order for yourself. It's not given to you just question 1, question 2, question 3. You've got to think about the order yourself. And that's very much like real life.
I'm going to try and do that one. Okay, so...
Think about the shape names as well. I'll be making sure you know those shape names from the shape lesson we did.
13 and 21. Equals 30. 4. 34. So 3.
Hello, Jamie Antcliffe as well. Hope you're doing well.
Daddy, can you help me draw a parallelogram?
You don't have to draw it, you can just write it down P for parallelogram if you want.
P.
So it's the order. Has anyone worked them all out yet? Hello, Layla as well in Scotland, another one of our bingo winners from last week. Got a very special question for you towards the end. Morning, Ruby, age 6 as well. Ruby has done it already. Wow, wow, what a tough puzzle as well.
Okay, I need to speed up. P.
Which ones have you got up here?
I've got that one and that one.
That one and that one. Yeah, I would definitely get those. If you're looking at an order, maybe this will help. I would do this one first, and then maybe this one.
Yeah.
And then after that, because you got the 3 and the 8 there,
Yeah.
3 and this will make that, I would get that one there as number 3.
That's what I was
Okay, so a bit of an order for you there.
6,
That one,
8.
that one, then that one. Could be an order. You might have done it in a different order. There's a few different ways to solve problems in real life. There's a few different ways to solve problems here as well. Okay?
5. So equals 5.
Eva has done as well, and Heidi has done as well. Brilliant work. Okay, I'm going to give you about 20 more seconds to see if you
Oh,
can get to the
Daddy,
end.
I need more time.
Which one do you need now? Have you got that one?
Yeah, that equals.
And then you can get the rhombus.
That equals P5.
Yeah.
Okay, 5.
You'll be there, aren't you?
Oh, but I'm. Okay, 5. Okay, 5 to get to 21. 5 would get me to the next 10, which is. So that equals. So I will need 16, 17, 16.
And then you got the last one.
16, yes. Rhombus.
Okay, right, we will
Oh,
look at these.
come
You
on.
there now? Just get that one here. Let's have them together.
Okay, so what it equals.
Okay, so first one here. 10 plus 3 gives you 13. Okay? You can then add these together. This is a square. To get the rectangle, you can add together 13 and 21 to give me 34. Okay, you then might come down here because the 8 makes a 3 and this one. So this has to be 5 for the parallelogram. Make sure you know these shapes. And then we can get the rhombus. 5, add this goes to 21. So this has to be 16. Bit of a tricky one, that one. You're doing 21 minus 5 to get 16. And then 16 plus 10 gives you 26. So a lovely diagram there. Lovely diagram, lovely puzzle. Love that puzzle there. Really do. Was it disappeared? Okay, love that puzzle. So it's not about understanding that. So if you got one of these and you were struggling with it, the one I've seen was really silly. It had zeros in there. I don't understand why they put those numbers in. I think they just randomly made them, but it's a nice way to problem solve. So we're going to look at our methods for subtraction now, okay? And subtraction, as I said, is tricky. So there's two, and the key here, there's 2 ways to think about subtraction. 2 ways. Now the first one is probably what most of your children always think about when you say subtract this, and that is taking things away. Okay, so taking amounts away. So in its simplest form, you've got 18 dots here, there's 10 dots, there's 8 dots. If you take away 6 dots from there, you are crossing those out. So you are crossing out those dots and you are left with 10 plus 2, 12 dots. That's the simplest way to take away. However, it takes quite a long time to draw those dots out. So we can use our jottings to help us a lot more with that. So rather than doing it like that, okay, we could use jottings to do 18. So we're doing 18 minus 6. We'd write our 18 down there, which is 110 and 4 units, 4 ones. So that's our 18. We put our 6 down. This is going to be very similar, but you just write this down. Okay, and then we don't want those 6, so we can cross off those 6 from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you are left with a 10 and a 2. So you're left with 10 plus 2, which equals 12. So jottings are faster ways. You don't draw all the dots down, you just draw the lines down. Okay, so I'm going to have to give you a go to have a go at using that. If you can do these in a different way, do them in a different way. Okay, these ones are not too difficult. So if you can do them a bit better, so for example, if I was doing 18 plus 6, the faster way to do that would be to do, well, 18 is 10 and 6. Yeah. 18 is 10 and 8. I'm splitting it up. Yeah. The 6 is just a 6. And then you should know that 8 plus 6, using your number bonds, gives you 14. So we've got 10 plus 14, which gives you 24. So you can do it that way. You don't need to use these jottings for everything. So we can split them up.
That's a clear method.
I'll just show you that with a slightly more complicated example. So if we had 42 plus 36, we could do, well, we've got 42 is 40 and 2. 36 is 30 and 6. Then we can say, well, 2 and 6 is 8. 40 and 30 is 70. Add those together, gives us 78. So it's a faster way to do it, but it's up to you. Okay? So let's have a go at these. So can we have a go at those? Use jottings, or you can use what's called kind of partitioning. So it's up to you. Some of you will probably do this in your head. Okay, these are the easier ones. Okay, we'll get to why these are easier in a bit. So have a look at these, see if you can answer those 6 questions. Use either this jottings method of writing out your number as tens and units, or partitioning, or as I said, if you do them in your head, brilliant. Okay, do them in your head, but you've got to get them right. Any problems as well, please let me know. I can try and help you on the chat. Hoping the picture is better as well compared to other lessons. If you can let me know if the picture's not good for you, because I am filming the HD supposedly now. For that big problem there, if you have not done that before, don't worry about it. It's new to me as well. It's the first time I've ever seen that problem, but there's some parents who have been set that as a puzzle for homework, and I think it's really difficult, but I just wanted to go through an example of it there. So don't worry about that at all. This is what the main lesson bit is about. As long as you can do the first part whole ones, and you can do what we're doing now, that's absolutely fine. Okay, well done, Jack. Done that already?
Equals
Okay, just another 30 seconds, just a few, maybe a minute more on this. Don't worry if you haven't done all these. Okay, these are the simpler ones, but we need to get onto the ones where you are having to kind of borrow or transfer across. So why these ones easier, Thea? What do you not need to do?
You don't need to go into the next 10.
Okay, what do you call that when you go into the next 10? With the jottings, what do you call it? Yeah.
You call separate. You call it. What's it called? Exchanging.
Good.
Just had to go a bit back in time then. I go back in time.
Okay, right, let's give you some answers for this. So your answers are 11, 32, 35, 30, 11 and 2. Okay, don't worry if you didn't finish them all, but what I'm interested in is, are you getting the ones you did right without making any mistakes? Okay, so you're either splitting them up into your different tens and your units, using jottings, or using just writing the numbers down. Okay, if you want some more practice of that, of course you can have some more practice. If some of you have not subtracted at all before, you want to maybe stick on that to get used to that technique. Okay, if you want to pause it for a bit, you can let's have a go at those questions and then come back to the when we start the problems and the bingo. But we're going to look at where you need to exchange now. So have a look at these questions first. So this is more difficult, because when you do 34 take away 17, you're going to get in a bit of a muddle. So I'll show you this with some jottings to start with. So we've got 34 take away 17. So we're going to start with your 34 and write this out. So 34, we've got 3 tens and we've got 4 units. For your 17, we've got 1 10 and we've got okay. Now, here we've got a problem, because when we try and take 7 away from this 4, we're going to run out of dots.
No, so
We're going to run out. So what we do is we exchange one of these 10s here, because this is just a 10. So we're going to write 34 slightly differently. I'm going to cross out that 10 there, and I'm going to write it as a regular 10 here. Okay, so I've just exchanged this line for 10 dots. Okay, that's what's really happening. When you talk about borrowing, when you're talking about, but maybe if parents are listening and you're being taught this in column method, that's what you're doing. You're actually exchanging. You're not borrowing anything. You are just changing this 10 into 10 units there, into 10 single ones. Now we can take away. So we've got 7 to take away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're in business. So we've got 7 there. Then we've got 20, take away 10, which is 10. 10 plus 7 gives us 17. Okay, it's a lovely way to do it. It's a lovely way to show what happens when you take away. So you exchange across there. Now then, if you want to do this in a slightly quicker way, you're going to do your 34 take away your 17. You're going to say, well, this is 30 and 4, and this is 10 and 7. Okay, you are still going to exchange. So you're going to, instead of exchanging for dots, this is a bit quicker, you're going to exchange this to a 20 because you're exchanging one of the 10s, and then you're going to take this to make this into a 14. So you've just added the 10 onto the 4. So you might find this a bit quicker. You are then doing 14 take away 7, which you need to be able to do in your head. So 14 take away 7 is 7, and then we got 20 take away 10, which is 10, same as before, 17, same answer. So I'm exchanging there without the dots. So that's what's going on, and then you get towards your column method, which you don't need at all at this stage. So this is a taking away version of subtraction. We're going to look at one more after this, which some of you, I absolutely love the next one we're doing, but you still need to understand how to take away. particularly later on when you're going to get to using your column methods. So hopefully that makes sense to use either one of these methods. If you're great at doing this already, why not try the faster version? Why not try this? Because you will need to move on to this. Definitely when you get into kind of year 3, year 4, year 5 and year 6, you'll be moving on to this. Okay, so have a go at these questions, please. So you're going to need to exchange, so use jottings or partitioning. I don't mind, let's see how you get on with this. And then we're going to look at a really different, cool way to do some subtraction as well. If you've got any problems, please let me know in the chat as well. Okay, brilliant. Loads, you're getting all those correct there. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see how you get on with the harder ones. So think about these methods you're using for these. And if you are finding this tricky, okay, we're going to look at a completely different way to do subtraction, which is, it's not a cheat way, it's a really clever way to do this. I want to show you this first. This is probably the way you've been shown most in school than the others. Okay, so don't worry, because there's a completely different way to do these. And then you can have a go at these questions later using the different method.
Why does sometimes that take quite a long time? Because I've just done one question using using the partition. Why did it take so long?
The other one takes long as well, doesn't it? But both of these, none of these are that quick. Okay, both of these are quite long methods. Subtraction is difficult. Okay, both of them are there for you. This helps you see it more. This is a bit quicker because you don't need to write down the dots. But I've got well, you might find a faster way to do this in a bit. Jack, very, very fast. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to give you another minute. Remember, you don't have to do these. This is something you can come back to as well. Okay, you can absolutely come back to this and do those questions or make some questions yourself at home. You can always watch the video later. It'll all be there for you. Okay, right, I'm just going to show you one more of these. I'll show you the trickiest one at the end. In fact, no, we'll do that one there. We'll do 45 take away 26. So 45 take away 26. So we've got 40 is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We've got 26 is 2 of those, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need to exchange this. Going to rub out that one and put another 10 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I can take away the 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 30 take away 20 is 10, which gives me 19 in total. Okay? Right, so the answers for you to check are there. Okay? Difficult question. These are the most difficult ones you're going to get in your SATs, really. Okay? Definitely at the end of year 2 SATs will be no more difficult than these. I know we're not taking those this year, but maybe next year for some of you. At the end of year 6, when you take your SATs, it does get more difficult than that. Okay, right. So if you do not like subtraction, this is the other way to think about it. Okay, finding the difference between two numbers is exactly the way as taking away. It's the same answer. Now that's something you need to know. So if you're asked to find the difference between two numbers, you just take them away, or you can find the difference. So to find the difference, we can use this kind of quite clever method here. So 28 take away 16 means find the difference between 28 and 16. It means exactly the same thing. Okay, you can do either or, will give you the same answer. So if you had a question here, if you had to find the difference between 16 and 28, you can use a number line to help you. Okay, I'll show you on the board here, and then I'll show you the neat version on the screen. Okay, so the first thing you do when you get 16 take away 28, you write at 28 take away 16, you can just write it like a difference question. So you start at 16, you're going to get up to 28, and you use your number bonds to help you. So to get from 16 to 28, I'm going to jump up to 20 first. How much to get from 16 to 28? How much do we need to jump? Just use your number bonds, yeah? So it's 4. So we've got plus 4 to get to there. So first thing I've done is I've jumped up to 20. I'm then going to jump up to 28, which is another 8. So I've jumped up to 20. I've jumped up to 28 like a frog. Imagine you're jumping from 16 to 20 to 28. And then in total, your total difference is 18. So the answer is 18. So you can do that for any question. You can use the jumping method, finding the difference between them. So if you do not like taking away, and I think a lot of you will find this a lot faster, you can set up this little quick diagram and just jump up in stages you want. Okay? This is a really important method to be able to do as well for other problem solving type questions. So can we have a go? Whichever way you like to take away. Those are the wrong questions there. Those are nice, aren't they?
They've got the answers on.
They're the wrong answers there. They're the wrong answers. Sorry, guys. Okay, so can we have a go at jumping up using this method? So for the first one, you will be setting up like this. So 46 minus 28, you are going to start at 28 and you are going to get to 46. So think about where you're jumping to. I'll put the first jumps on for you. You are going to jump to 30 first, then you are going to jump to 40. So fill in your jumps, and that will tell you how far you've gone. Okay, so fill in those jumps. What are you jumping each time to jump up to those numbers? So fill in those boxes there, and that is how you can do it, by jumping up rather than taking away. Another way to subtract. Okay? Okay, so can we jump up for this then, please? Sorry, the difference was 12, not 18. Have I added that together wrong? Sorry, yeah, the difference is definitely 12. Sorry guys, thank you.
Daddy, is it time for bingo after this?
Yeah, come on, get those done.
I need to run to my next page. I've covered
I made a lot of work there.
What thing is it? It's 46, take away 28. 28, 46.
Okay, so just try and jump up to them. So we're jumping up here, so you're using this method there. You're jumping up from 28 to 30, then to 40, then to 46. You are jumping up in your gaps. Okay, so if you were doing this when you would jump from 28 to 30, which is 2. You'd then jump from 30 to 40, which is 10. You'd then jump from 40 to 46, which is 6. Then add them all together. This is where I got the 18 from. Sorry, I'm skipping a question. So 10 plus 6 plus 2 gives you 18 for the difference. Okay, so you can use this jumping method, or you can, of course, just do 46 take away 28. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, as long as you know they are the same thing. Finding the difference and taking away are all different words for subtraction. They all mean the same things. Okay? Right, I want to get on to some problem solving, some word questions. So your answers are there: 18, 17, 44, 23, 16 and 56. Remember, you can come back and do these any time. The questions will be that, it's quite easy to make up these kind of questions for yourself. So we've got 3 worded questions based around the winners of bingo from last week. And if you win bingo this week, you might be in the next lesson as well. So when you get worded problems, you need to read the questions really carefully and work out if it is to do with adding or subtracting. It might be timesing even either. Okay, but normally at your age, it's normally adding or subtracting. Then you can use your written methods to work out the answer. So the first thing is to work out, do I need to take away? Do I need to find the difference, which is the same as taking away, or do I need to add them? So the first question here. Okay, so Luke and Patrick, who won the bingo last week, Luke and Patrick are trampolining in the garden. The world record height for a team bounce is 22 feet. Luke and Patrick smashed this record and bounced up 41 feet. How much did they beat the world record by? So work out, is this a difference question, a takeaway question, is an adding question? And then you can post the answer on the chat. So Luke and Patrick, the trampoline, that 22 feet is a record. They smashed this record and bounced 41 feet. Okay, so you should have worked out this is a takeaway one, a difference one. So you're doing 41 take away 22. We'll find the difference between 22 and 41, which gives you an answer of 19. Okay, so 19 for this question. So well done, people that worked that one out. You get that?
Yeah. Quite
Okay.
tricky.
So 19. So next one. Gabrielle, another one of our bingo from last week. Bingo is chilling with SpongeBob and Patrick at the Krusty Krab. Gabrielle eats 13 kelp cakes. SpongeBob eats 25 kelp cakes. Patrick eats 7 kelp cakes. How many kelp cakes do they eat all together? Okay, so can we work out the answer to this one, please? Think about what you need to do with the numbers. What type of problem is this all about?
So if I add 13 times 7 gets me to 20.
Yeah, we've got one more question of this and then we are playing bingo. Done on with it?
Yep.
What do you got?
45.
Lots of other people got that as well. A few different answers in this one, a few different ones. Okay, we've got 48, 45, 19 and 45. So some different answers here. Think about what you are doing with this. How many do they eat all together? That's a key word there. Okay, so all together normally means you are adding these up. So you're doing 13, add 25, add 7. So you've got 3 numbers to add together. Maybe you added these 2 first and then added the 7 on, that's fine. Maybe do a big calculation all together, adding them all at once. It's up to you. I would do these 2 and then add the 7 on.
Yeah.
But it is up to you completely. So the answer is 45. 45 kelp cakes. Okay, sounds greedy to me. Right, last question. This is the toughest one. Okay, Layla, who is very much into her dance and acting, and also won the bingo. Layla is auditioning for the Royal Academy for Performing Arts. She is putting together a 60-minute performance that includes dance, acting and singing. She dances for 22 minutes and acts for 23 minutes. How long does she sing for? How long does she sing for? So it's 60 minutes in total. Do some working out here for this one. So it's 60 minutes in total. This is a really tough question, this one here. Okay, I'll put this more in a year 3 question, definitely, at least year 3. This is a tough question. 60 minutes in total. Dances for 22 minutes, acts for 23 minutes. How long does she sing for? Very tough question. Be very impressive when you get the right answer for this one. You got it?
Yep.
There you go. Theo.
Daddy. I added 23 and 22, which was 45. Then how many? Then I just worked out how many left to get there was.
Some brilliant answers there, brilliant answers. Okay, well done as well. Layla's got her brilliant work. Okay, so you would add together the 22 and 23. So she's done 45 minutes already and there's left 15 minutes. So you are adding and then finding the difference as well. So you've added together 22 and 23 to get 45. You are then finding the difference to get to 60, which is plus 15. So you can see the difference method and the takeaway methods, they're all really useful. So use the one that's best. I love finding, if I need to find the difference between those two, I won't think about taking away, I'll just find the difference. If I'm asked to take those away, I will still find the difference because I think it's easier. So think about finding the difference. It always works for subtractions, it always does. So that could be a really good method for some of you there. Right, so we are going to finish with bingo. One for the winners to last week. Bingo is going to be slightly different this week. You've got a grid with 9 boxes. On the top row, I want you to write in multiples of 2. Anything from the first 12 multiples of 2. Remember, multiples are your times table. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, all the way up to 2 times 12. On the second row, multiples of 5. The first 12 multiples of 5. Any of those 3 you want. And then the bottom one, multiples of 10. So I could choose for this one, I could choose 4, 8 and 18. I could use multiples of 5. I might go with 5, 15, 30. Multiples of 10, I might go for 40, 70, 120. So you can choose any multiples you want. Now, there are some really good numbers to pick here. I'm putting all the multiples of 2 in the bag, all the multiples of 5 in the bag, all the multiples of 10 in the bag. There are some very good numbers to pick which give you an advantage here. Think about the best numbers to pick for your grid if you want a good chance of winning.
12. Daddy, I'm stuck. Why do you want to put it in my F box? That's going to be a good one.
There's not another good one. It's going to guess one.
Oh.
Okay, hopefully we are nearly ready to go, and then we are going to start the bingo. Okay,
I'm
we're
not
nearly
ready, I'm
ready to go.
I'm not ready.
Just going to pick any, they're all the same tier, they're all equal. Okay, are you all ready for bingo?
Yes!
Okay, remember as well, when you have 2 squares left, we need all 9 to win. When you have 2 squares left to go, you need to dance saying, shaky, shaky. When you have 1 square left to go, you stand up. Oh, I keep losing a banana. And you say, top banana. And when you win, you shout, bingo. All 9 boxes, all 9 boxes. Okay, here we go, it's bingo magic. First number, 2 times 10. 2 times 10. That was a good one to have. 2 times 10 is the first number.
I've accidentally got two of them. I didn't know. I accidentally. 15.
You can't have the same number on your grid twice either. Or must be different numbers.
I accidentally.
Next one. No, it's 2 times 1. 2 times 1. 2 times 1. Next number, 10 times 2. 10 times 2. You probably already crossed it off. We have 2 times 9. 2 times 9. 2 times 9. Uh, 2 times 5. 2 times 5. Oh, I hate this wig.
You're just going to have to speak
Oh.
that kind of...
Oh no, oh no.
I want your king, not your king.
Okay, next number is 5 times 2. Probably already crossed that one off.
5 times 2.
Now we have 7 5s, 7 5s, 7 5s, 3 times, 7 times 5, 7 times 5. Now we have 4 times 2, 4 times 2, 4 times 2. 5 times 1, 5 times 1. Anybody getting close? Any shaky shakies? Any shaky shakies? Any top bananas? Shaky shakies, top bananas? It's going to start getting intense soon. I'm telling you, these shaky shakies are coming. Next one, we have 8 times 5, 8 times 5, 8 times 5. I've got hair everywhere as well. Right, 10 times 12, 12 tens. What is 12 tens? 12 tens. Next question. 2 times 12, 2 times 12, 2 times 12. Have we got any shaky shakies or top bananas? Any shaky shakies, any top bananas? Surely some shaky shakies or top bananas coming up soon. Surely soon. Next one. 2 times 5. 2 times 5. Had that one a lot. You can see some of these are better to pick than others. Victoria Ann, 2 left. Where's your shaky shaky? You better be going shaky shaky. Shaky shaky shaky. 10 times 9. 10 times 9. 9 times 10. Same thing. 9 times 10. What is 9 tens? Tricky one to work out. We got 12 times 5. 12 5s. 12 times 5. 12 times 5. Have we got any more shaky shakies? Any more shaky shakies? Any more top bananas? Okay, next question. 5 times 9. 5 times 9. It's lost my chat. I'm just waiting for some shaky shakies. 5 times 9. Shaky shaky, shaky shaky from Sophie friend. Shaky shaky. We've got a shaky shaky. Another shaky shaky. This is getting intense. Here we go. I've got all my things on the floor. When I took that bin out, they're scattered everywhere. We've got 2 times 2. 2 times 2. 2 times 2. Another shaky shaky. We got another shaky shaky. Goodness me. We got 3 on shaky shaky. We got 2 times 8. 2 times 8. 2 times 8. 2 times 8. We got shaky shakies coming everywhere. We got, oh goodness me. I cannot call this one. 8 times 10. 8 tens. 8 times. Another shaky shaky! Shaky shaky! Shaky shaky!
again!
Another shaky shaky! Another shaky shaky! Oh,
Shaky!
everyone can over you, I only hope.
Shaky again!
Wow. The wigs are terrible, there's hair everywhere. Shaky shaky! A shaky shaky Luke as well.
Top banana! Top banana!
Top banana! Top banana, one more number. Hair in my mouth. 10 times 7, 10 times 7. 7 shaky shaky from Lou as well. I said another shaky shaky. 10 times 7 that one was. Shaky, shaky, another shaky, shaky. Oh my goodness.
Bingo!
Bingo! Bingo! We got one bingo. We got two more winners.
This
We
is
got a
getting,
bingo. I'm
this is
exhausted.
getting tense.
Two more bingos. Right, next one. 5 times 10. 5 times 10. One winner. One winner. Congratulations to Marina.
5, 10, 15.
And another top banana from Luke. Oh, could Luke win again? Could Luke make history and win 2 multiple bingos in a row? Another shaky shake from Jack as well. We got 10 times 5. We said 10 times 5. Okay, we're looking for 2 more winners. Next one. It's a square number. Top banana! Top banana from Sunny as well. And a bingo for Sunny!
Bingo.
Bingo! One more bingo to go. We're waiting for one more bingo. And we got 10 times, another shaky shaky. 10 times 10. 10 times 10. Could this get a shaky shaky hammer? Shaky. One shaky. What does one shaky mean?
Shaky.
Oh, yeah, shake without another shaky.
Stick shaky.
Okay, shaky shaky Ruben. We go, oh, shaky shaky. You better be standing up and shaking at home. It doesn't count. 10 times 10. Top banana, Leah! Right.
Oh, I'm so.
Here we go.
I'm so playing.
This could be a top banana, another top banana, another top banana. Okay, this could be a winner for all of you. 10 times 4, 10 times 4, 10 times 4. Have we got our final bingo coming? 10 times 4.
Nothing on this
Nothing
side.
10 times 4.
No.
4
Shaky,
times,
shaky!
4 times 5, another shaky shaky and a top banana. 4 times 5.
4, 5.
4 times 5.
15, 20.
Loads of shaky shakies. I can't handle this many winners.
I put
5 times 5. 5 times 5. We're on 5 times 5. 5 times 5. Bingo! Boop, 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 bingo! We have a bingo from, make sure you send me your names, from Nilofer Hashem as well. More top bananas. We've got our 3 winners there. We've got our 3 winners. Can you please message me your names, something you're into, so I can make a question up about you next week. Subtraction, you worked really hard today. You really have some tough questions there. Use a method that works for you. You do not need to use all 3. You need to know that the difference is the same as taking away, but you can use whatever you want. If you prefer using the jump method to go up, great. If you prefer using your jottings, fantastic. If you prefer using partitioning, good as well. Whatever works for you, but make sure you can take away and don't make mistakes. Okay, we will see you again next week for another lesson. Please keep turning up, please keep doing your maths. I will try and keep it as fun as I can, but you worked really hard today. I will see you later. And I'm not wearing any more hairy wigs, these are disgusting.
But can I try?